Hey everybody and welcome back. This is Tattoo Collectables and I'm your host Eric. This week on the show we've got a franchise that we're going to show you. It's a generational family of tattoo artists and we've got some stuff in the mail, a little bit from both of them. And we are going to highlight what you are doing during this COVID-19 pandemic. That'll be coming up after what's in the mail. So stick around and check out what everybody else is doing.
What's in the mail?
Okay, so what's in the mail? So this first package it got here so quick. Tennessee Fight Knife. It got here so quick that I thought they lived in my frickin' mailbox. Come to find out, they were from very near to where I live. They're just about an hour and a half away. So when I saw these online, there's several business cards in here. He was selling a collection. He's got a bunch more of them, and I'm keeping an eye on those because there's some pretty cool ones. There's a Sailor Moses up for sale, and a few other ones that are pretty neat. And he really packaged this one. Thank you. But my Tennessee Fighting Knife makes pretty short business of opening stuff, so no more hassling with that. Thank you, Mr. Domo, once again. Okay, so let's get this all sliced open. Always slice away from the meat, never towards it. So, Jiminy Christmas, now they're in here again. Okay. Now, what these were touted as were cards from the 70s and 80s. Now usually you can tell if a card's from the 70s or 80s because it'll have the lack of any kind of social media on it. Now this one is a Bald Bill from Burlington, Vermont. Super cool card. Great artwork on it. This one is, who is this from? It's from New York by Paul Massaro, it looks like, but it's backwards. That's weird. Paul, you got a weird way of doing your cards, man. This one's from Skin Illustrations. Got a little Omi on there, which is super cool. Now this is marked on the back, Tattoo Archive, San Pueblo Avenue, Berkeley, California. So to me, this is a double collectible. This actually came out of the collection of C.W. Eldridge. So I love getting stuff like that. I'll put that with some C.W. Eldridge stuff. This is another tattoo by Paul. This is from Delaware Avenue, Kenmore, New York. It's another super cool. Look at the art on these are great. Here's a Lone Wolf, city licensed and health certified. That's a nice little, I like that card. I'm saving the best for last if you can't tell. Let's see, this Perfection Art Tattoo from San Antonio. And it's got the care instructions on the back and then the card on the front. So, this is the one that actually caught my eye. This is the one why I actually bought this. Now, this is from 30 Central Avenue, Albany, New York, which I believe, and it says J. Spaulding's Ink City. I believe this is Tom Spaulding's son, Jay. Tom, I know you're out there listening, and if it is not, please in the comments let me know. But when I saw this, I thought Albany, New York, last name Spaulding. It almost has to be. So I am always on the lookout for anything Spaulding, and this one I've never seen. This is a nice card. Now, for these 7 cards, I gave $20, $22 with postage, I think. Now, any of the cards without social media on them at all, and you can definitely tell by the smell. I know I can smell all these. Now he was good enough to put them all in plastic, but you can tell by the smell, you know, if they're significantly old or if they're new reproductions. A lot of that going around, by the way. So, like I said, $22 is what I gave for all these. I'm gonna give them an estimate. Like any of the cards that I see that are from this era, it's at least a $10 card. So these 7 cards, I'm going to put a tentative, an estimated value on of $70, because even the what we would call, if you were collecting baseball cards, you would call them commons. Now, all of these are not commons. There's a couple really great cards in here. There are a couple commons. Now the one from the archive, it's signed on the back, Midwest Wade. The one from the archive, I'm going to give a slightly higher. This one is probably about a $15 card, mainly just because of its connection to the tattoo archive. And then the J Spaulding card to me is worth the moon, because I'd never seen anything from J Spaulding, and I've loved the Spaulding family, always have. So, moving on. My next package this week, I've had this one for a week or so, and I've been itching to open it. Now, this one is from Punta Gorda, Florida. I see a bunch of stuff coming out of there. This person always has, I think what happened is they either used to tattoo or they purchased a shop that had gone out of business, because they always have. They've got a bunch of stuff. So when I saw this, I thought it was super neat. Here we go. Now, this is a 1978 Spaulding and Rogers flash sheet. Now, from the looks of it, it is completely legit. It's a little off center as far as the cutting goes, but that was known to happen. Now, this is sheet 127N. Now, the N denotes that it was a Don Nolan sheet. Now, some of them were marked DN for Don Nolan. I know this is a Nolan and not a Naden. Ted Naden also drew for them. The Ted Nadens are usually with a T on it. Now, here before too long, I'm going to devote probably half an episode to this gorgeous flash, because every letter meant a different thing. So I've contacted many people about this, and I'm trying to come up with a definitive key. Now, Dano Collins gave me a huge heads up as far as what's what. Dana Brunson also knows a bunch, and Tom Spaulding, Jay Spaulding, I'm sure they know a bunch too. I'm going to get in touch with them and try to get a master key of, well, if that says G on it, who did the G? So we're gonna get to the bottom of that mystery eventually. Now this page, I got this page almost free, man. This one came super cheap. It was $4. And it came wrapped in plastic. It's super nice. They included a nice note on the back. Thank you for paying so promptly, blah, 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 blah. Now, this one, I like this one because of the mermaids. I thought the mermaids on this were awesome. And I'm actually looking for a sheet out there. So, if anyone knows what sheet this tattoo came off of, now it's a Ted Naden sheet, I know that. But I would like to find the actual sheet that this came off of. That was my second tattoo. It caught my eye from the wall, and I had to almost immediately put it on. There was some turmoil with that. We'll go into that later when I find out the sheet number and get the sheet. So, back to what we were talking about. This sheet here, I'm gonna say on average, these go for about $15 to $20 a sheet. And I'm gonna say this one is right there with it. Now, we just lost Don Nolan not too long ago, so these sheets, this one's from '78. It was already one of those that was kind of hard to get. You can't order these anymore. But since we've lost Don Nolan, they've disappeared. So anytime you see an N on them, go ahead and get them. Unless they're outrageously priced, then you know what to tell them then. So that is what we had this week for What's in the Mail. I was thrilled. This has been a great week as far as What's in the Mail goes. As far as everything else goes, it's been the same week for me that it's been for a lot of you. Now, which brings me to this. We are going to, while this is going on, I want to do a new segment and let people know what everybody else is doing out there. So Chris at Ink Therapy, now he's the promoter for the Indie Tattoo Expo. You can go to at Ink Therapy. Right now, he's framing a bunch of his cards. He's taking the time to go ahead and put his collectibles into something where they won't get ruined, which, Chris, we love that. Keep that up. You can find all his information at Ink Therapy on Instagram. Nate Harmon, you remember our buddy Nate from a few episodes ago. We did the big, he has the biggest collection in Indiana. At Nate Harmon, and you'll see it right now, at Nate Harmon, is hunting morel mushrooms. I guess he loves him some morel mushrooms. Nate, keep it up, buddy. And he is pumping out Flash. Now, he's got Flash for sale on his big cartel. You can find all the information for his big cartel at Nate Harmon here on Instagram. Pantsy Pants, at Pantsy Pants, is pumping out Flash. This boy draws like he is a picture machine. You should definitely check out. He's got a big cartel. It's in his bio. Here's his, it's at Pantsy/Pants. Good friend of mine, does great work, and he's coming out with some really nice stuff. So y'all should check out his big cartel. And rounding up, not to say that this is last place, but rounding up for what we're doing this week is BJ Johnson. Now we met, and he goes by Soba, is his professional tattoo name, in case there's some people out there who don't know BJ. BJ is one of those guys. We met him. He actually tattooed Pansy at Pantsy Pants at the last Hell City we went to. Super solid guy. Just an awesome dude. Now I've been using his tattoo machines probably for 10 or 15 years now. The guy makes stupid ass, solid fucking rock hammer ass machines. His machines are the shit. Workhorse irons. Check him out if you want one. So, Soba came up with this thing, which I think is great. It's called Free Art Friday. It's in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Now, what he does is he does these little pieces of art, super cool little pieces, and then he puts them into a waterproof container, a bag of some sort, and will tape them up somewhere in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Now, you all know as well as I do, you're bored. I'm bored. You want to go out for a walk. You see these pictures, you know where it's been taken. And people are going and just grabbing this free art every Friday. He's been doing this. I couldn't tell you how long. It'll show on the Instagram post. Now he is at Soba1. If you want to support him, definitely do. He's an awesome guy. But Free Art Fridays is what he's been doing, which I think is awesome. Any artist out there that's currently out of work and feverishly drawing stuff up for the public, make some art, put it out there for free. See what people think, man. I think people will dig it. So that is our new segment. I'm not sure what I'm gonna call it. Maybe, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I'm doing. I'm here every week doing this show and trying to bring a little sunshine and into your life. So that's it for this week. Short and sweet and to the point. So I wanted to remind everybody that as long as the world doesn't change any more than it already has, we will be at the Indie Tattoo Expo, June 19th through the 21st, 2020. Now, we're still planning on going to this. I am hoping that what's going on now doesn't affect that. I also want to remind everybody out there during these trying times that in the 60s, they shut down tattooing. 1961, they shut it down in New York City. 1964, they shut it down here in Indiana. They did that with very, very little reason. New York said it was a hepatitis outbreak. Many people think it was because they wanted to clean up their image for the 1964 World's Fair, which wouldn't shock me at all. Indiana, honestly, I can't find the reason that they shut us down in 1964, but I have a feeling they were following suit from New York City. Now that lasted here until the mid-'80s, until Kevin Brady took on the state and sued the state essentially. They said he was practicing medicine without a license. That was the charge. Kevin took it to court to say that it wasn't a medical procedure, but it was an art form protected under the First Amendment. And that's what it is. Don't forget that. We are protected under the First Amendment. So when things all calm down, I do believe that everyone will be coming back. But if we come back prematurely and something happens, anything happens, they can use that as an excuse. So be careful out there, people. Change your procedures just a little bit, and we can weather this, and the industry can come out on top again. For the shops that aren't going to follow this, that are just going to go back to business as usual, when a problem occurs, you don't have to wonder why. That's it. That's my soapbox for this week. I'll definitely put a soapbox warning on this one, but definitely think out there, people. And until next week, until we come back, I want you to stay inside, stay safe, be cool to each other. And as always, keep on collecting. Hey everybody, thanks for watching, and please hit the subscribe button down below and check out these videos. We've worked real hard on these too, and I think if you enjoyed this one, you'll enjoy those too.